Nos, egy kis idő eltelt, és most folytatom a játékot. Temetés után Eddie elkerítette a Calvinhoz. El lett kerítve, ugye? Hely. Kimásztunk, jó? Ez hangos, viszont közben ittem. Nem bánjátok. És fagyikát ittem. Elfogyasztok, mivel olyan meleg van. Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again. Fogságban. Hadifoglyok. Fotósok titkos élete. Na. Akkor nézzük is, hogy mi a további. Teendő, itt az ágy. Biztos jelzi, hogy hol kellene egy tovább menni. Aha. Na. Micsoda? Látok? Fölfelé. Oda hangos. Jó?
The passages were of pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
Hát igen. Illetve egyébként ezekben az ilyen filmekben mindig ilyen sztereotípia ez, hogy mindig ilyeneken mászkálnak. Aha. Itt is be lehetett volna jönni, vagy? Ja nem, figyeljétek, ez ilyen boros szekrény lehet. És itt akkor így. Szóval ez ilyen sztereotípia, hogy így jezgessé, majmoddal. Mi a franc volt ez? Szóval ez...
I always thought of Barbara as a child star.
Aha. Szóval ilyen sztereotípia ez, hogy ilyen járatokon mászkálnak mindenki, szóval nekem ez mindig is hülyeségnek tűnt. Nem állsz vissza. Kicsit azért még az irányítással vannak gondjaim.
Never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards.
Tökéletes a fagyi. Ez mi itt? Happy birthday. Torta, figyeljétek, hogy le van itt rohadva. Gyertyák. Barb. ST. Ezek ilyen újságok, meg vannak itt, látom ilyen. Innsprov Night. Elmon Center. Augusztus. Itt is a rendezvények. 1944, 1960. Na ez a Molly előtt még meghalt. Grateful Stories. Várjátok, szerintem ez lesz a premissza. Viszont annak itt kamerája. Jó, itt nincs más szerintem. Jó Isten, ez a bajom, ez megijesztett. Na, nézzük.
Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Teljesen értem. Wayne Jack is hozott nektek egy ide. De jó, ilyen témákon át van ívelve.
Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans.
Mondjuk ez hozzák nagyon nincs köze ennek. Ez egy kicsit olyan külföldi, vagy egy nyilván külföldi szokás, sztereotípia.
better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter.
Walter,
The convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding
Ezt megtudtuk most. Az jó.
Until finally the key pops out.
Ezt tetszik, hogy
I'll be back in a sec.
érdekes. Azért mutattuk, hogy kell menni ott.
Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him. Right on cue. She reached for the music box.
Mert előbb is bajom volt ezzel. Ilyen rajzos témájával megcsinálva látjátok, tök jó. Na ne, ez az a zene, emlékeztek? Nem emlékeztek, de én emlékszek a kb. 3 évvel ezelőtti kis filmem. Innen szedtem én ezt, akkor emlékszek. De olyan nekeket idéz fel az egész. Mondom, akkor játszottam ezt. Ez a tipikus halloween amerikai zene. Jaj, de jó. Milyen francokat tájolnak itt ezek? Csapkodjunk szét mindent, kész. Itt a kölyfűrész. Francba, bogzsák. Mész innen. Kicsit hangos lesz. Menjél már!
Oh dear!
Szétolt a fagyim.
Rick?
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and you're...
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still awful when she fell asleep watching the late picture show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up.
Akkor félig tévén nézzétek ott van. Mondd be. Nem lehetek ennek fog menni? Nem akarok, várjál. Mindjárt. Walter? Mondd már miért nem. Ez volt Walter szobája. Ja. Walter te. Walter, eltűnt.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
I returned, saw the hookman, and was speechless. He was quite smashing.
Azért helyes volt a fagyival, hogy itt eszem, de nem tudtam mit csinálni. Most? Aha, itt átjött. Már nincs itt, ugye? Gondoltam. Legang.
From inside the house. The monsters had come to surprise her.
Oh.
It was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Oh, girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter, hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard. But that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear. Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
Na, ezt is megtudtuk. Ez is viszonylag érdekes, biztos, hogy ennek is van egy... van valami átvitt értelme. Na. Menjünk a pincébe. Jó lesz ez. Én nem most hozzá. Most már belső lett, ugye? Persze, pont most kellett neki. Hol a...
Mom said the basement was off limits. Unless I wanted another tetanus shot. I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages. I thought maybe she was hiding presents. It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that.
Oh.
I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone. She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could. If there's a pattern in all these stories, I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
Wow. És egy ilyen pizza, ilyen túlélő helység. 2005-ben halt meg.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years.
30 évig.
On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week.
Engedhet, hogy nem hittem volna. Megérjem a következő hetet.
But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane. Having a schedule, living for today. I always expected to be dead tomorrow. But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything. Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal. Almost friendly. And then one day, everything just stopped. Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid. It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years. I'm done waiting. I have to leave. Well, I still can. I know it's out there, somewhere. Whatever killed Barbara.
Ja, Barbara miatt. És Mollyval.
And Calvin.
Calvinnal.
Maybe this is all a mistake.
Talán az egész egy tévút volna, vagy mi?
But I need to stop living the same day. Even if it kills me. Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it. I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food. I don't mind if I only have a month. Or a month. Or a single week. I'd be happy with one little thing. I can already imagine the sun on my face.
Na. Ez meg valószínűleg el, sajnos. Érdekes minden esetre, csak nem teljesen értem, hogy...
Walter died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here.
Hogy Mondjuk ezek a levelek, ezek valami utólagos leírások, vagy értem, hogy ugye így mutatják be, de hogy nem teljesen értem, hogy az hogy születtek, vagy mi a az, amit mondani akarnak. Így.
Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter.
Mász le. De most miért fordul meg? Azt nem értem. De érted? Nem tudom irányítani. És nem megy le. Én ezt nem... de még kezd már föl, Istenem. Majdnem elcsoltam az egérre. Hát nem tudom, mit kell nyomni, érted? És fölül, és kész. És nem tudok lemenni. Most mondja már el valaki, hogy mi a baj. De miért kell föl? Miért nem marad ott, hogy próbálkozhassak? Én ezt nem értem. Neked... Hogy Istenem, bagyom.
I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me.
Megnézzük újra. Most lemegy, lehet, hogy valamit bugol.
But if she never told me about an uncle under the house, I can only imagine what else she was hiding. I don't want to make the same mistakes she made. Trying to bury something that's still alive. Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe two, I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself and found out what happened to everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real.
Itt a Walternek az emlékhelye. Most hogyan tovább? Itt azóta már tört ez a vasút.
I don't know if I should even be writing this. Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me. thought you should know about your family.
Hát kicsit nekem ez most időhúzás, hogy itten át kell sétálni.
Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now. I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth. Look at the house. That history of imagination and stubbornness and madness. Any of it seems possible.
Akkor nem el kell mennem. Itt a hinta. Hogy még föl van csavarja, hogy mutassák. Na jó. El kéne mennem.
I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it. What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house?
Már kellett itt tovább menni. El kell tovább mennem. Na ja, lehetséges.
It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery may be more uncomfortable than the human one.
Elég sokan vannak azért itt.
3 of the gerbils are mine. 2 had been my fault. Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery.
Molly Finch.
I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away.
Itt az emlékmű.
She could see it poking out of the water at low tide. Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night.
Itt a régi házramja, ugye a vízben. Még kell esetleg valamit csinálni? Nem lehet visszanézni, jó?
Edie's side was always easier for me to understand. But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from.
Sam Finch, Gregory Finch,
strict, but it
Gus
wasn't
Finch.
enough to save her brothers. She was just trying to do better. She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us. There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now.
Nem tudom sejteni, hogy most mely felé sétálok, de...
For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself. But looking back on it now, if she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
Itt a teljességgel? De valahogy meg kellett volna itt tudnom. Itt a létre.
I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common. They were both pretty intense.
Na. Itt is van minden, ami kell. Semmi, ami nem. Úgyhogy...
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are going to last a lifetime.
Hmm? Am I gonna have to shoot anything?
It's a hunting trip, Dawn. Shooting is strongly encouraged.
Shouldn't we be leaving?
Just want to get a shot of you, Dawn, then we can take off.
I'm over here, Dad.
Várjál vagy?
Wait.
Várjál.
Just need to get a shot of you, Dawn, then we can hit the road.
Kell valamit még látnom, nem? De ne fotózz már, ember. Azt nem értem, hogy nem tudok felfordulni. Istenem, fölcsesz most már kicsit. Amúgy tök érdekes játék, csak elfáradtam most már végére. Nem lehet elfordulni, de ezt nem értem.
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are going to last a lifetime.
Hmm? Am I gonna have to shoot anything?
It's a hunting trip, Dawn. Shooting is strongly encouraged.
Shouldn't we be leaving?
Just want to get a shot of you, Dawn, then we can take off.
I'm over here, Dad. What?
Perfect.
It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it? please just take the damn picture?
Hey, language.
I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's the spirit.
Did you want to get a picture of me or what?
Smile, Dawn. Okay, got it.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. The camera's older than you are.
Most a fotózással lesz itt valami.
You're right, Dad. It's starting to clear up. Still freezing, though. Aw.
Nem kell ennyi képet csinálni, különben csak nem tudom irányítani.
Hold still.
Hey!
That's a keeper.
I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Dawn. You'll need to remember this stuff, if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Dawn, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
To tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years. Dawn, don't you think you could find something more interesting to photograph? Last time I was with my brother Calvin. Man, that was a great trip. Your grandpa's Fen taught us how to fish, how to build a fire. Guys, Dawn. Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of it.
Dad.
Let me get behind you.
Do I have to do this?
Dawn, you don't have to do anything. But if you want to survive, you need to be strong. Great shot, Dawn! I'm proud of you, Dawn. Always remember that, okay? Sorry, Dawn, just gotta reset the timer. Hang on, kiddo. Just trying to get a shot of the two of us together.
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally normal, Doc. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about...
Dad!
Nope. Ajaj.
Of all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
Hát ez is egy tragikus történet volt. Megtudtuk ezt is. Mehetünk akkor tovább. Milyen hely ez?
After Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close. They both lost a lot.
Ez gyerekszoba. Oké, ja. A gyereknek miért csináltak ki ilyen mászós hülyeséget? Én ezt nem értem. Ez be van zárva, de hát na. Gyerekszobában is. Na, ez Gregorynek a szobája, úgy látszik. Vállókályás, mit ír? Ez mangolul van.
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it.
Mindig kiemel egy jó mondatot belőle. Na, mi vagyunk a kisgyerek. Kádban. Én vagyok a béka, aha. Switchenek végig, ideje? Ja, telefonálnak. Sam most nem akar beszélni. Ne ide! Mennyi gyerekük volt ezeknek, így az idők folyamán? És egy jó zene van alatta ez a... Még tükröződik is, nem mondod. A szöveg. Ó, a bálnát is. Jó, úgy mindent. Már mozgunk együtt velük, figyelj. Valami szöveg itt megy. Honnan lett ennyi játék hirtelen amúgy? Bálnát kéne megugrani, nem? Mert valami szöveg ott a folyog. Arra kéne ráugranunk. De érted? Nem tudom. De fordítva, oké. Meg kell ugrani ezt a cuccot. Nem igaz, már ugorjál, ember, hát... Na. Sampol, tudod milyen bután hangzik? Tudom milyen bután hangzik. És a kezeink közül. Történetét. Aznap este. Fenébe. Jaj. Mint ő látott. Oh.
About everything. But I know what happened wasn't your fault.
Még boldog.
Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam.
Na, hát ez is azért érdekes sztori volt, szóval, na, attól függetlenül egy játék szerintem itt sok tanulságot is azért le lehet belőle szűrni. Most olyan pontos értelmet nem, de mondjuk egy ilyen történetnél is azért az ember le tud valamit szűrni. Egy versgushoz.
Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard.
Ez mi? Ryan emlékszek. Fordulj már meg, hát... Istenem. Lejjebb. Mondom lejjebb. Istenem, nem tudna lejjebb menni egy kicsit sem, már nem tudom, nem jó ezt így gépen irányítani valahogy. Mert ugye ezt én PS4-et játszottam. Nem tudom, magától menne, érted? De itt talán.
My father made them come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart.
Nem tudtam ezt elolvasni, de jó van.
Talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her, he didn't need a stepmom, were the words that I now pronounce you husband and wife. Make this trial.
Hát jó, hogy bele kell akadnod ebbe. Jó, nagyon játszanak itt a betűkkel.
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined, and as a sign held up his middle finger.
De nem tudom elolvasni. Ó. Nem volt ez valami jó gyerek, ez a Gus. Úgy látszik. Lehet, hogy nem véletlen történt vele valami. Nem, semmi rossz indulatból.
Wind picked up, and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent.
De jó.
Rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made.
Déjà nem látnánk az esőből. Ezt ott. Hát nem figyeltek itt se a gyerekre. Az ebbe a lényeg. Szerintem. Már villámlott is. Na várj, reggeliző asztalt. Ugye az ebédlő asztalt is fel kell zuttyolnunk.
The thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. But all my father said was just make the music louder.
Már feladtunk tényleg, de szilajban, de apán csak itt játszottak a zenét még valósabban. Hát kicsiket betitűztek, azt akkor nem voltak valami jó. Szerintem úgy, hogy hagyták a gyereket is. Bárcsak, mi bárcsak. A világít is. Jajjaj. Nem tudom. De érted, nem is előtte megy, ha mögötte megy, ez beakad. Tényleg nem egy nagy valami volt ez a sátruk. Ójjaj. Mi történt?
I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone. Just you, the wind, the sea and
Hatízó
calm.
tengerpartján.
But I didn't. Until we found you.
Ja, jó, és ezen van a szöveg.
She never talked about him. Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
Neki nyílt valami, aminek esetleg kellett volna.
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died. At the time, it was as far away as she could get. She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay.
Most? Dan. Vissza lehetne mászni, vagy nem föl kéne lenni valaminek? Vagy csak ez a sztori csak ennyi volt? Próbálunk följebb mászni. Ja, mondom, én itt kell tovább menni. Valós után egy héttel Indiába költözött, ahol angol tanárként kapott állást. Aztán mentek ezek mindenhova. Louise. Eltűnt.
When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back.
Milton, Louisiana, milyen jó kis kertek, hogy megvan,
The house
ki
had
van
to get a little
találva.
bigger, but Edie was used to that. And for a while, things were good. Almost normal.
Lézé.
But it didn't last. The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle.
Elfáradtam most már kicsikét. Ja, már légy.
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
De jó. Már benne játszódik ugyanez. Ő tűnt el? A Milton? Akkor ezzel mutatta be.
I was 4 when Milton disappeared. Mom spent months searching for my brother. and she sealed the doors. Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
Ezért kár volt ide jönnöm. Vadszőlő. Még magasabban.
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Louis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
Konzervgyárban. Össze már emlékszek, ez egy jó sötét sztori. Nem itt a többi nem lenne az. Milyen hajóablak, figyeld. Sinta. Itt élsz, figyeld.
Louis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him went
Ajaj. Mi ez? Vízipipa? Ajaj. Legalizm marihuana. Jó kis családtag. A pszichológusának.
As Louis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Louis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the cannery, but he withdrew part of himself.
Aha, szóval ilyen monoton munkát végzett.
His mind began to wander.
Kettő játékot játszunk egybe.
He said he started small. Imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about.
A kicsiben kezdte a...
Bats. And toads.
Ooh. Sárkány.
Things that have not names.
Jobb már ember. Sok halat tettem így egybe. Közben ezt is próbálom ugye megoldani. Ezt vág már, de ember. Ez a nehéz ebbe.
He knew it was all in his head.
Tudta, hát ő is tudta, ugye, hogy az egész csak a fejében van.
But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself.
Csúszszál vissza, akkor máshova. Jó. Na.
But he found something more.
Na figyelj, de jó ilyen, a 2D-be most átment 3D-be. Ez nagyon jó ki van találva.
daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss.
Beszéltem a test felettesével.
But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused.
Igen, ilyen monotonan végezte, és csak ugye közben elkalandozott.
Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on. I even encouraged him.
Még bátorítod. Aha, szóval, hogy végül is benne van a neki is a hibája. Úgy tűnt, hogy fejlődik. Viszont ez nem volt az, gondolom. Hát ugye az államvilágban.
On the edge of a city he named Louis Topia.
Louis Topia. Hát a Louisnak ugye az utópiája.
Then he made musicians.
Ilyen középkori. Már kicsit nehéz ilyen 3D-be is.
Songs for them to play. He talked about starting a band.
Jaj, már mennyi emeljemek, nem tudok mind a kettőre figyelni. De jó, ezek meg vannak kigyalazolva, de félig ugye nincs arcuk, én úgy látom. Tök érdekes. Egyre jobban sok képzeletében élt, ugye?
He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination, so he could do whatever he wished.
And he won.
They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him. He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on.
Egy ilyen játékosság. Louisville. Szóval ezzé vált számára ez az egész egy ilyen játékkel.
St. Louis.
St. Louis.
He started drifting away from our reality. Minneapolis, until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Louis kept sailing on. In Louisburg, he heard rumors of a beautiful prince. The prince was on his own quest for sinister serpents. He followed the sound of his silver harp.
Lát majd választ elő, hogy hova jusson.
His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound. He knew the world was all in his imagination.
Szóval tudta végig, hogy miről van szó, de mégis.
But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king. For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace. My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
Visszakerültünk ide.
I began to forget the world we know. I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker.
Itt ugye folyik le minden cucc.
He began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
De hogy már nem is teszi alakat, csak ezt a monoton mozdulatot végzi.
I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions. Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on inviting him. His prince waited, holding his crown. There was only one thing left to do. Bend down his head. And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
Na, ez is meg volt.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
Ba? Így. Mentettünk, akkor azt hiszem, hogy itt tovább.
He was so proud of being Indian. I think for him it was a way to be something other than just a Finch.
Menj vissza, de miért nem lehet megállítani ezt a animációt, mikor visszamegy, azt nem értem. Most magától megy vissza? Van még valami, amit... Ja, el kell. Ne menj ki! Ezt nem értem. Ez vagy idegesítő. Most jó, visszamegy magától, mert nem lett volna szabad kimennem, de...
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder. I wish we'd stayed. But I understand why we left.
Az ő szobája lehet.
What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe I should have come sooner.
Jönne. Kis papírmadár.
But it had
Hova
to
megyünk
end
még fel?
from there. All
Wow.
that's left now was to tell you about that last night.
Edith.
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go home with it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
the power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom set up the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance.
Milyen másik bejáratról?
Or that Edie had a key to it.
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your story. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning. Okay?
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out. It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life. But I never thought I'd go back to it. When the fog rolled in, I lost my way.
6 év előtt.
I got turned around. For a while, I wandered. I started seeing things. Things I'd forgotten had ever existed. But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them. Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it. Let go.
Összeveszte kezem.
I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw Great Grandma Edie again. The next morning, the band came to pick her up. She was already gone. After that, we moved around a lot. We both tried to make the best of it. A few years went by.
De jó, figyelj, de betűk.
My mom didn't like to talk about it. But she started getting sick a lot.
El kell fújni.
The rest happened pretty quickly. She got better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is. This journal was supposed to be for you.
Akkor lehet, hogy egy gyereke lesz, ugye? Akinek ezt az
And I
egészet.
hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you. And tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way.
Oda fényes.
This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
Meghalt. Ő is meghalt, úgy látszik. Na. Most a végén tök jó ez, hogy így kérják ezeket a készítőket, és még ilyen mellékelt képek is vannak. Azt nem sokan szokták azért vállalni, vagy ilyet csinálni, úgyhogy mindenképpen figyelemre méltó. Köszönöm, hogy megnéztétek ezt a kis videót, ezt a hosszú végigjátszást. Még mai napig ez az egyik, igazából egyetlen másik játék, amit a Minecrafton kívül így kijátszottam párszor, és mai napig szeretem, hiszen ezért egy elég komoly történetet mond el, még akkor is, hogyha nincs esetleg olyan pontos tanulsága. Úgyhogy ez ennyi lett volna ma, ez az első gameplayes rész. Lesznek még hasonlók. Sziasztok!